Welcome to the F1 2020 British Grand Prix practice review. I know I don't really usually do practice. I usually do on the Saturday. I do qualifying, and then on the race day I do the race day, and that's it. So really I stream on the Saturday and then the race day Sunday, and that's me. But I thought to myself, practice is like interesting. You can get a lot of information from practice about the tire degradation, which, let's face it, nobody cares about. But you can find out a lot of things from practice. So I thought to myself, you know what? Because I watch practice, why not? Why not add a third day to my recording? So instead of doing my videos on the Saturday and the Sunday, it's going to start from the Friday, then the Saturday, and then the Sunday. That's the way I'm going to do it. So, this is the 70th anniversary of Formula 1. Well, next week, they're going to be celebrating the 70th anniversary. But really, this is the 70th anniversary of Formula 1. 70 years that Formula 1 has been going. It all started here in the UK, Silverstone, which I've been so many times. I go every year. Not this year because of the COVID. And it just doesn't feel the same. I know I'm not there. I can't really comment. No one's allowed there. No fans are allowed. So if you are trying to go to Silverstone, don't even bother. You can't get in. If you get caught, you're just going to get yourself arrested. So just let it go. Stay at home. Cook a barbecue. Put it on the screen. Get drunk. Whatever you're going to do. But be safe and stay at home. Now, I watched practice 1 and 2. Nothing really went on. Nothing big really. But it just not... Look, I know they've been to Austria. And I know they've been to Hungary. And then I watched on the telly and I thought, I don't matter about the fans. But now it's in my home country of the UK. My home country of the UK. And watching it on TV and seeing no fans, it is sad. It is sad. It's a sad sight. The commentators, Crofty and Anthony, was repeating themselves saying, yeah, we know other countries didn't have the fans, but being from here, this is where it all started. This is the home of motorsport. The United Kingdom. This is where Formula 1 started. This is where 90% of the teams work from. Is the UK. And this weekend was built up for years to come. They started organising this 2 to 3 years ago. This was going to be a special weekend where we're going to get all the fans in. There was going to have a big parade. There was going to get all the classic drivers, the ones that are still alive, to come to this Grand Prix. And it was going to have a big celebration to celebrate the 70th anniversary of Formula 1. And it's a shame one guy couldn't be here. R.I.P. Sterling Moss. He was there at the first Grand Prix. And he's not here now. And it's a shame. But going back to what I was saying with the fans. No fans here. It is not the same. It is not the same. Hamilton said it. He said it perfect yesterday. He says, look, he said he arrived here. He came when he walked into the stadium, walks into the circuit. He said, yeah, he looks good and happy, but it's just not going to be. Even though when you're in the cockpit, you don't really hear the fans that much. You do hear them, but you're more concentrating on the road, so you don't get yourself killed. But you know the fans are there, and that's where you get the energy from your fans, from the fans, especially a guy from the UK coming to Silverstone. You know the fans are going to be going crazy there. But now there's no fans. But I know it's the way it is. It's COVID, and it's affected a lot of people. It's affected the people in America, Mexico, Canada, Europe, UK. It's affected everybody. And it's still going on. And it's a shame. It's a shame. But, talking of COVID, before we move on to the practice session. Sergio Perez. got tested positive. He was positive of COVID-19. The first test come back conclusive. Second test come back say yeah, he's definitely got it. And now he's self-isolating. He said he went to Mexico to see his mum because he said his mum was in an accident. He went to see his mum for 2 days in Mexico. And obviously that's probably where he caught the virus from Mexico. Because I know in Mexico the rate of COVID is still high. So he must have caught it from there. He came back, got tested, and he found out that he had COVID-19. So they brought in Nico Hulkenberg to replace him. Nobody thought it was going to be Nico Hulkenberg. Nico Hulkenberg was at home getting his barbecue ready to start. He brought the sausages from the shop. He brought the bacon. He brought the beans. He had it all spreaded on the table, ready to have his barbecue. And Otmar phones him up and says, "You're racing this weekend." Whoa. He was surprised. Yeah, he was surprised. He's glad that he didn't eat that sausage. You get me? When he comes into the paddock, still slim, perfect, race trim, ready to go. He got found, like I said, the day before practice one started. Before practice one started, he was in a simulator for 45 minutes. 45 minutes of preparation he had to know everything about that car. The new steering wheel, the new electronics, the aerodynamics, the straight line speed, the drag, you name it. He had 45 minutes to race the car in the simulator, to prepare and to know where all the buttons are in the steering wheel. But he managed to do it. That guy must have been thinking 2 days ago, he was thinking, yeah, I'm going to have a nice barbecue in Monaco. I'm going to bring my dog with me. We're going to go shopping. We're going to buy some sausages and bacon. And we're going to have a nice barbecue. And we're going to sit back and we're going to watch the British Grand Prix, the 70th anniversary. Then he got the call from Otmar. So you're driving for Force India? Checo Perez, he's been tested positive of COVID and we need you to come in. He came in and he's there now. Amazing story. This is Nico Hulkenberg, who has never, ever got on the podium. Imagine that, Nico Hulkenberg. He's sitting at home twiddling his thumbs. The guy just finished basically a 10-year career. He's thinking he ain't getting back into F1. He can blow that up. I ain't even won a race. Never mind, he's never even got on the podium. There's no chance he's going to get back into F1. The guy's sitting there probably getting ready for DTMs. DTMs and the season's not even started yet because of the COVID-19. You got him there sitting back on his sofa thinking, yeah, I'm going to enjoy these big German sausages. And all of a sudden, he gets a phone call of Otmar. Otmar says, you're in. You're in. What do? You say no? Of course you don't. He went straight there. He's organised. He got himself ready. 45 minutes in the simulator. And he's out doing practice one. And who would ever think maybe that guy, Nico Hulkenberg, who has never ever got on the podium, might finish on a podium this weekend. What a fairy tale that would be. You could even write a book. Now forget the book. You could write a movie on this. A film. A Hollywood script film. Nico Hulkenberg never won a podium. He retires from racing F1, gets called up again, comes into a car, Force India, 45 minutes of preparation on the simulator, and he wins it. Or if not wins it, that's going too far. But getting on the podium, imagining that. That would be amazing. And I hope he does. I hope he does get on the podium. Because Nico Hulkenberg, in my opinion, Renault, they said, look, at the time I thought Daniel Ricciardo was the best spot. Yeah, but Daniel Ricciardo was there. They was bringing in Ocon. I understand. But look at Daniel Ricciardo. He's been at Renault for 2 years and he's off down the road to McLaren. Nico Hulkenberg was loyal to Renault and he would have probably stayed there. Nico Hulkenberg is just a steady driver, something that you need today. So, let's start with, before we practice, let's talk about this press conference everybody's talking about on the internet. And I'll give you my views. My views. Why don't drivers just learn to shut their hole? Plain and simple. Like my mum always says to me, if you haven't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Nothing at all. Carlos Sainz asked Carlos Sainz to the press conference, "What will you kneel for this thing they're doing with Black Lives Matter, anti-racism?" He says, "I have never witnessed racism. I've never been a subject of racism, so I will not kneel. There you go. Now, that looks like he's narrow-minded. See, if that was me, and if I ain't got nothing good to say, I would have said, look, I talked about it with Lewis, and we've sorted out between us, enough said. But he had to go the extra further. And then when I asked him again, he see the camera zoning him on a big, thatched head. Zoning in on him and saying, look, what about this, what about this? And he didn't know what to say. See, Lando said the right thing. Lando said, look, I'm up for it. I think we should kneel to the end of the season. Of course. Of course. That's what Lando says. And, you know what I mean? I'm tend to agree with Lando. I'm leaning towards Lando's side. But with Carlos Sainz, if he ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Just like Kimi Räikkönen, Kimi ain't got nothing good to say, he ain't going to say nothing at all. And that's what the thing what stood out for me on the practice, on the driver's press conference. And another one what stood out for me is about Roman Grosjean. Roman Grosjean was saying last week or the week before about, I don't think we should go on with this Neil thing. I think this Neil thing now is a disaster and we should just end it then. Done. And what happened the next day, he knew he'd done wrong. Roman Grosjean, I'm going to talk about Roman Grosjean. He said that I think we should stop it. That's enough. But Roman Grosjean went onto the phone to Hamilton, apologised to Hamilton, said I was wrong, and I think we should do more as drivers, right, to do more for this cause. For this cause, what's going on with the Black Lives Matter. We should do more. It's too disorganised. Football's doing it. Basketball are doing it. They've never had a problem with it. Rugby, cricket, you name it, all the sports around the world are having no problem taking a knee. But all of a sudden, in Formula 1, there's a big problem. And that's what Roman Grosjean had a 10-minute conversation with Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton said this on the press conference. He said he had a really good conversation with Roman Grosjean. And I saw it out. Respect to Roman Grosjean. He knew he'd done wrong and he corrected himself. And that's it. He knew. Takes a man to admit when you're wrong, you know. Takes a man to admit when you're wrong. Trust me. So, we're going to go on to practice. So, practice starts. But actually, again, going on to the... I'm sorry. I was going to get into the same question what they keep asking. Autosport again. Why don't they just shut their mouth? Autosport, let it go. They ask him again, why do you think you're spinning, Max? Why do you think you're rating going, Max? Why do you think if you would have fixed them, if you would have fixed the stuff on the car, you think you would have beat Mercedes? No. Do you think you're faster to beat Mercedes? No. There you go. Same question over and over and again. Max sitting there like a cat, laughing his head off underneath his mask. You can see him like laughing underneath his mask, asking the same question over and over and again. Why don't you listen, F1, if you're watching this video, or Mercedes, whoever, retweet the video. Let me ask them some questions, real questions, not generic questions, not the same question over and over again. What's the colour of your t-shirt? What are you eating for dinner tonight? You know, proper questions. Now let's get on to practice one. Kimi goes wide in left field. The practice wasn't even going 10 minutes. Have a drink. I'm sweating buckets in here. Sweating buckets. So, Kimi goes wide in left field. 10 minutes into the practice one, Kimi goes wide. Antonio goes off as well in a similar it wasn't by left field. It wasn't far from left field, but he goes wide again. And that was in sector 2 and 3. And then his car, red flag. The red flag come out because when he went wide into the turn 2 and 3, there was debris coming off his car all over the place. And the guy was still going 100 miles per hour. He couldn't just slow down. There was bits flying off the car, right? And he was still going 100 miles per hour. So they put the red flag and it stopped the session. Vettel. Let me talk about Vettel. Vettel don't give a crap, mate. Vettel standing in the pit lane with his helmet half off, with a moustache what looks fake anyway. Yeah. Dribbling down his mouth. Looks like he's ready, just wants to lie down and watch a bit of British comedy, because he loves British comedy, by the way. Standing in the pits thinking, what is this? What is this? A disaster. His car could not even get out of into practice one. Charles' car was fine. That was flying down the hanger straight into cops. Loving it. Maggots and Beckett's flying everywhere. Didn't get top 3 though. but it was flying. Vettel's car couldn't even get out. Don't you think that's a bit suspicious? Why is Charles' car is funny and Vettel's car's not? Just saying. Vettel don't give a crap though. He's leaving at the end of the season. Most probably he's going to go to Racing Points. Well, it's going to be Aston Martin. And most likely in next season, if he does go to Aston Martin, right, Charles Leclerc, he will see Charles Leclerc in the back of his mirrors, because he'll get the last laugh at the end. Because Ferrari in the next 2 years are not going to be challenging for jack shit. Jack shit. The guy's even come out in the press conference. He says, look, at the end of the day, we're finished. We're not going to develop our car. Not until 2022. That's just the way it is. Done. So Carlos Sainz just signed a 2-year deal. He's gone to Ferrari. He's thinking, what the fuck have I done? Should I have stayed at McLaren? Yeah, you should have. Yeah, you should have. Duh. You should have stayed at McLaren. Now you made a mistake. Now you're going to Ferrari, yeah, on a 2-year deal, and in then 2 years they're not going to be competitive. And what are you going to do then? What are you going to do then? When Mick Schumacher starts out qualifying everybody in F2, they'll probably bring him up to replace you. So really, the 2 years have been for nothing. Failed. You should have stayed at McLaren. You should have stayed at McLaren. Wrong move, pal. Wrong move. But anyway, Vettel intercooler. There's something to do with his engine, intercool problems. So they're taking the engine to pieces. It looked like when I looked at his car in the paddock, it looked like a Lego set. Bits everywhere. They didn't know what they're doing. They was looking at instructions, Argus instructions like you get from Argus. You go to Argus, you buy a parcel, you don't know what you're doing. You get these instructions, what are completely before buffoons, and then you go online, and then you Google it, and then you Google the image of it, and you try and put it together. That's what the Ferrari team looked like on Vettel's car today. They looked like they brought a flat pack from Argus and started putting it together, and they didn't know what they was doing, because they didn't know what they was doing. Trust me. So Vettel don't care. He's leaving at the end of the season. Ferrari have finished for 2 years. Done. Enough for the Ferrari. I'm done with them. So, at the end of the first practice, you had Verstappen. At the end of the first practice, you had Verstappen on top, second Hamilton. But Hamilton was on the medium tyres. He did set a fast lap on the soft tyres, Hamilton, in practice 1, to be fair. But he came off them, went onto the medium tyres, started doing his runs on them. Wasn't happy with it, kept saying in the cockpit, it's hot in here. It's hot. Maybe should have threw more ice in there. They usually put ice in the cockpit now, don't they, to cool them up. But he said it was too hot. It was so hot out there today. Over 40 Celsius on the track today. That is nightmare temperatures for the drivers and for the tyres as well. Tomorrow, it's going to be 10 Celsius cooler. So that's going to obviously favour Mercedes. We know how this is going to go. Jenson Button can come out as much as he wants and say, you know what? There's going to be a fight on Sunday. The only fight there's going to be is between Bottas and Hamilton. That's it. There's going to be no Red Bull fighting. There's going to be no Force India fighting. The top 2 people is going to be Bottas and Hamilton. That is it. And the fight for third place is Max Verstappen, Stroll, but I would love Nico Hulkenberg to get in there. So at the end, they got Max Verstappen top the sheet. Hamilton was second. And that's how it went. So we got into P2. Practice 2 starts. Charles spins a bit in turn 4. Few drivers spun in turn 4 today. And he was something to his rear. He lost his rear, as usual, with that Ferrari car. Charles spins in turn 4, loses the rear. High winds on the track. There was a lot of high winds. It used to be at RFA Naval Base in World War II, and now it becomes Silverstone. So they built it in a place where there's loads of wind. So when the wind does come, you feel it at Silverstone, and there was high winds. The cars were spinning everywhere. It was no grip at all in the cars. Practice 1 was like watching paint dry. Practice 2 was like watching paint dry 10 years on. So Charles spins, high winds on the track. Lewis puts a hard tyres, and by then I think Lewis just gave up and said, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to get nothing out of this session. Doesn't really matter to me. Hard tyres it is. I'll go for my quali runs, and that's it. Just my race pace. That's all he cares about, because he knows tomorrow they cannot collect data from today. Today is not going to help them. It's not going to help them. It's good because tomorrow is going to be 10 Celsius cooler. You got Karoon. He kept repeating himself, saying there's 40% of chance of rain. It is not going to rain. They said that Hungary, did it rain? No. Did it rain? No. They said that it's going to rain at the race. Did it? No. He's saying again, 40% chance of rain. Let me tell you something, it's not going to rain. But it's going to be 10% cooler, track temperature, and that's going to favour Mercedes. So the data today is irrelevant. Nobody cares about the data today because it's going to be cooler tomorrow. So what they learned from today is diddly squat. Albon and Max was complaining about the understeer. Here we go. This has been Red Bull season, isn't it really? Understeer. Understeer problems, no grip, more power. They said they was complaining about understeer. Lewis again, still on the hard tyres. He's thinking, I'm bothered enough. No more medium tyres, no more soft tyres. The soft tyres today was the worst compound. The best compound today was probably the medium. Soft was terrible for the Mercedes. And Lewis let him know on the radio today. It was terrible. Now, this is where people always... I'm going to say it because Crofty said it on the TV, so I'm going to repeat what he said. He says that maybe... He said it's not a big rumour, but he heard around that maybe Red Bull could change Gasly and put him back in Red Bull and Albon back into Force India. No, not Force India. What is it, the Red Bull? What do you call it? You got Red Bull... Oh, Toro Rosso. What they called Alpha Tauri now. There was rumours that he was going to put him back in... they're going to swap the drivers over. And a lot of the drivers saying, oh, no, we don't know. That's just rumours. You're going to start something crafty. And he said, no, I'm just saying because Gasly was pumping out the good time today. He's out-qualified Daniel Fiat 3 times. I think he done it in qualifying. He's got better race pace. He's the best guy in that team. And all of a sudden now he's showing promise. Now, in my opinion, I think they bullied him in Red Bull. They bullied him. They should have gave him to the end of the season to show his stuff. Get off his back. I watched that Ride to Survive. I know they probably didn't show everything for what I saw or what the fans saw. That he was kind of getting bullied. That's just my opinion. They was bullying him. Pressure. They should have left him to his own devices. Let him go out. Let him do his race. And let him give him to the end of the season at least. But Red Bull don't work that way. Red Bull, like, if you've got 5 races, and it doesn't work out, yeah, you're off. And it shouldn't be like that. It should never be like that. It worked like that in before the hybrid era, when you had a lot of drivers in the pipeline ready to come through. But that driver market's not like that anymore. They haven't got the top drivers like they did back in the day 10 years ago, where Red Bull can go see you later and bring another one in. It's different now. It's different. The line's not as big. So if they do like say, look, we don't want Albon, want Gasly, or they go with someone else, who they're gonna go with? They should have, to me, they should have chose Alonso or Vettel. Someone experienced to go along with Max Verstappen who can withstand Max Verstappen's demands, like the way he's on the track. Someone who's experienced who can tame him. But all these guys like Albon can't do nothing. Albon, let's face it, Albon is a great driver. But the way things are looking at him at the moment, they're not going to give him 2 years. Because like I said, what I've just been saying, Red Bull don't roll that way. They don't roll. They roll the other way. You got 5-6 races. And if we don't like you, hit the bricks. See you later. And that's just the way it is. Now, at the end of the practice, we'll have a look how it finished. Let's do the final practice. Oh, it finished. See the yeah. So it finished at the end. You had Thingy first. You had Stroll first. He come out and got just before the temperature of the track started getting even higher. He come out, get a nice lap in, perfect lap, and he went top. Second, I think I didn't even know who second was, but it was a good. It was first, but Stroll was first. I think Hamilton or something. Let me see if it's on here, because I can't see nothing on here. Here we go. We've got practice 3 on here. Yeah, practice 2 how it finished. Yeah, we had Lance Stroll, Alexander Albon. Let's bring this down here. We've got Lance Stroll, Alexander Albon, Valtteri Bottas in third. Fourth place, Charles Leclerc. Fifth place, Lewis Hamilton. Sixth place, Carlos Sainz. Seventh place, Nico Hulkenberg. Good. Just come back. Get seventh in practice. Good for him. Eighth place, Pierre Gasly. Ninth place, Daniel Ricciardo. 10th place, Kimi Raikkonen. 11th place, Lando Norris. 12th place, Esteban Ocon. 13th place, Antonio Giovinazzi. 14th place, Max Verstappen. 15th place, Daniel Fiat. 16th place, Roman Grosjean. 17th, George Russell. 18th, Sebastian Vettel. 19th, Kevin Magnussen. And 20th, Nicholas Latifi. Where is Vettel? Because I can't see him on here. I can't even see Vettel on here. Oh, Vettel, 18th. 18th. When's the last time you ever saw Vettel come 18th in practice? When's the last time you saw Vettel? Even when he first come into it, he didn't come 18th. But he's come 18th, so it looks like they're giving him all probably the crap parts of the car. And where's Charles? Charles Leclerc is 4th. Okay. Charles Leclerc is 4th. And Sebastian Vettel is 18th. I don't give a crap what anybody says. There's something going on there. Something going on. 18th and 4th. Okay. Now, we've got a few videos, a few interviews. We've got a few here. We're going to go straight to what the first one will be. We'll have Max Verstappen. Car's looking and feeling good, says Max Verstappen. This video is 1 minute and 5 seconds long. Adverts, I will be cutting them out. There you go. Adverts. 1 second.
So happy with that. I think, of course, there's still things you can improve, so we'll work on that. But I think also in the long run, it was looking quite decent. So yeah, overall a positive day.
Generally, the cars looked a little bit less toe. Hey Max, I'm guessing the timesheet probably doesn't reflect what happened because on your quick lap, you got held up by Roman. Can you just talk us through what happened on that lap?
Well, yeah, I just got blocked, so I had to stop. But you know, that at the end doesn't matter. I think it was not a bad day for us. I think the car's working a bit better. So happy with that. I think, of course, there's still things you can improve, so we'll work on that. But I think also in the long run, it was looking quite decent. So yeah, overall a positive day.
Generally, the cars looked a little bit less toe happy, I guess, out there compared to the first few races. Was that something that you guys have changed collectively as a team? Did you find something you just felt a bit more comfortable with?
Oh, we just keep trying parts on the car as well. You know, we keep bringing new bits, so it seems that they are working. So yeah, happy with that.
Alex was talking about how the car maybe reacted a little bit better than expected at a circuit like this. Did you kind of feel that it was maybe a little bit stronger than you might have anticipated?
Well, you never know, so it's better to just get started and get to work. And luckily, it looked better and it also felt better.
So Max showing some maturity there. A couple of years ago, Max would have probably flicked and tried to fight him like he did with Ocon a few years ago. But Max showing his maturity, saying, look, it doesn't really matter. The car felt good. He's showing positive energy, taking a leaf probably out of Lewis's book. So we've got another interview. What else have we got here? We've got George Russell. This is 1 minute 36, by the way. Minutes long. George Russell feels excitement. And he likes the pace of the car. Look out for the adverts. Just couldn't let it go, could it? Couldn't let it go. Had to have the adverts. Here we go. 1, 2, go.
So George, here back at Silverstone last year, Williams were quite far off the pack. This year you're in the pack. That must be quite exciting.
It is exciting, you know, it's home race last year. It was such a buzz, you know, being here with all the fans. We don't have that this year, but the excitement levels are more because of the pace of the car. We're still not where we want to be, but at least we've got a small fighting chance.
It's obviously windy now, looks like it's about to rain, but earlier it was much hotter. What were the conditions like out there?
Tricky. I feel bad for Nico coming in, first day back in probably one of the most physical tracks of the year in these conditions, so I'm sure he's feeling it tonight. It was difficult. The pace was okay, nothing spectacular, probably where we expected it to be. I think as a team, this circuit will not suit us as much as Hungary. The Alfa Romeo seemed pretty fast, so I think we'll be in a competition with Haas this weekend.
Okay, and on Fridays earlier this year, you've been trying little things because you've got a good baseline at least this year. Was that another case today? You were just trying a few different things?
Yeah, definitely. No, I think we're trying to find the right compromise between downforce and drag. Obviously, we've got a lot of straights here, but a lot of high-speed corners. So you need to try and run as little as you can without compromising, Kops and Maggots and Beckett's. But the cars these years are so fast. Kops has been flat from lap one. It's so impressive, and so that's pretty much what we've been trialling. And I think we're in a relatively good window.
Perfect. Well, good luck this weekend. Thank you.
Cheers.
So basically saying he knows this weekend is probably not his weekend, but he's still trying. He says he feels improvements in the car. Oh, there's definitely improvements in the car since last season. Definitely. They're not always finished last all the time. And that's it. Who else we got? We got Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, and we're gonna have Nico Hulkenberg now. 3 minutes long. This is. I'll put that on last. So we got. Let's have Valtteri Bottas. Imagination. Just couldn't let it go, could it?
Hey, Valtteri. After that first day of Friday practice, I think people were expecting us to be strong today, and it didn't really look like the case. Could you kind of explain how things went for you?
I think the first session particularly was a bit more tricky balance-wise. Obviously, still work to do, but I think practice too was actually not a bad feeling. The gaps are quite small, and normally we are able to make some good steps for the qualifying. So not too worried really, because overall feeling is quite good. But Racing Point and Red Bull they seem quite strong as well. But it's going to be completely different conditions tomorrow with a lot of less track temp, and the wind is going to change the direction quite a bit, and it normally has quite a big effect on this track.
Do you think that could then be a benefit for you guys when it's slightly cooler?
To be honest, I don't know. I think the team has really worked on that everything works also in the hot temperatures. I'm sure everyone struggled today with tire overheating, but normally it's not a bad thing. We'll see.
So on those soft tyre runs that you did, you didn't seem to have the pace of the other guys in front of you. Do you reckon that was because of the hot temperatures and the tyre overheating?
For sure had some overheating, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just not too worried. We're just going to focus on our thing tonight and see how much we can squeeze more performance, and hopefully it's going to be enough.
And then just looking ahead to the rest of the weekend, I know you said the temperatures are going to change a lot, but expectations still pretty hopeful of a strong result here?
Yeah, of course, really hopeful. I think the car overall is feeling good. We know we've got work to do, but and it's just going to be, as I said before, completely different conditions, and it's going to be who's able to react quickest in FP3.
So, just as I've been saying, it's going to be a completely different race tomorrow. Well, not race, going to be different. Practice 3 is going to be completely different. Temperature is going to be down by 10 Celsius. Mercedes car is going to come alive, and nothing else left to say. Let's see if we've got any more. We've got Lewis Hamilton here somewhere. Let's put him on. Here's Lewis. Quite a difficult day, but not a disaster.
So Lewis, first day home race weekend. I know there aren't fans here, but how was that first Friday practice for you?
Quite a difficult day, to be honest. I think it's always windy here, which is one of the it's actually a good thing about this track. You got some wind in different directions, but it's made it really tricky today with the car, and yeah, the balance is a little bit. Yeah, it's not as good as I'd like. So we're just going to work on it tonight and try and see if we can figure it out. It's not a disaster, but it's definitely been a hard day of driving.
On those soft tyre runs, it didn't look like you guys had the pace. I think you did 2 runs as well, and you backed out the second one. Were you not feeling that comfortable on that rubber?
No. As I said, the balance is not right, so
Okay.
I just not feeling comfortable in general. But yeah, we went back out, and I think the tyres weren't as good as the first one, so that was the main reason. But we'll work through it, and you know, we've got great engineers, and that's the great thing about this team is we continue to dive deep into the details, and hopefully we make some good changes overnight. I think it's going to be cooler, I think, tomorrow as well. But what beautiful weather we've had.
Very unusual for Silverstone, isn't it, I suppose? And what do you make of the rest of the pack? Racing Point once again looked really strong. Red Bull look like they've got a tighter car here as well. What do you make of that challenge?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wasn't really watching too much, but because I don't know where Vettel was and Max, but I know that Albon and Stroll obviously were quite quick. So I think that's great to see close competitors. Hopefully tomorrow it's close with us also.
Oh yeah. Look, he's gonna come out and say there's a lot of work to do, but whatever, man. Whatever. So we have one more. We've got Vettel. So what Vettel's saying. A disruptive day for Sebastian Vettel with not many laps. Say that again. Get this going.
For you today, and Seb, only 90 minutes in the car for you today, and the car looked like a real handful this afternoon.
Not even that, I think. Yeah, it was a disruptive day. We had an issue with the brake pedal, and we had to stop and fix that. So a bit difficult to get into a rhythm. But yeah, I think overall still little bits to learn from and take away for tomorrow, and I think we need to improve the car. So we'll see where we are tomorrow.
With the brake problem, did you not really get a feel for it on the light fuel load today?
Not really. Obviously, it failed on the first run, and then yeah, it was probably a bit off and a bit out in terms of rhythm. So around here, especially, you need a couple of good laps, and we didn't have many laps in general and many good laps. So.
Charles said even on the heavy fuel, the car was a real handful. It looked it from the onboards with you today as well. How many changes, or how big a change are you going to have to make going into tomorrow?
Well, we'll see. I think the track should be in a different state. It should cool down. So let's see if that really happens. And then we are just talking about it. I hope that we come up with something. But yeah, I think on my side, a lot of it will calm down naturally overnight, and we will have a better day tomorrow.
Until today, the only German in the sport, Nico Hulkenberg, obviously returning this morning. Good for Germany, good for German fans to see another German on the grid.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there were times where we had like 6 or 7 German drivers, so it's good to know that I'm not alone, at least this weekend. Obviously, it depends on Sergio's state, and I hope he recovers very soon, and it's not too bad for him. But yeah, obviously it's a nice surprise to have him back.
So that's going to be a wrap. I'm going to leave you with the Nico Hulkenberg audio, and then it can have my intro, which I should have put at the beginning. I'll put that on now, and straight after the outro to finish it off. So this is Solo P1. I'm going to check these. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll leave my link to my Twitch link. So I game on a daily basis. Most days I stream F1, Assetto Corsa Competizione, and I stream Automobilista too. So you can look out for me on my channel. I stream, like I said, I stream at least 5 days a week. Hit the alert button, you'll be able to pick up my video when it lands. So I'm going to cue this video up for you. I'm going to disappear in 1 second, and this is going to be me gone. I'm going to play this video for you guys. Let's find it. Nico Hulkenberg. There we go. We knew that was going to happen, didn't we, boys? And girls. So, it's going to be cute. I'm going to say Solo P1, signing out. See you later. See you tomorrow. This is the audio for Nico Hulkenberg. Bye.
Welcome back. Nico, 24 hours in the life of a racing driver. Talk us through it.
Yeah, the last 24 hours have been a bit special. Crazy and wild. 4:30 p.m. Yesterday afternoon got the call. Took a plane here, seat fitted until 2 a.m. Tonight. 8 a.m. this morning into the simulator for an hour. Bit of prep work, so it was a short night, but all worthwhile. Great effort by the team. Want to thank the team also, the night shift guys that did an amazing job to fit me in the car and even quite comfortably, and the FIA for turning it around so fast on the super license. So it's been very special.
How different was it getting in that simulator this morning? Was it very, very different to what you were used to at the Renault, or did it all come quite easily?
Well, simulator is simulator, and I think there I got to grips pretty quickly with things. It's just a little bit to get used to the steering wheel a bit and some of the functions. We didn't have a heaps of time because I had to be tested as well. But the real deal, obviously, today we've got the program in. Got a couple of laps in, or many laps, which I feel. I've been really thrown into the cold water here. I think my body will feel that tomorrow and the day after. But it's obviously a huge challenge. But I'm not shy of that one.
How much have you been keeping up with your training over the winter? How's your neck feeling right now? You say your body feels a bit beaten, but come tomorrow morning, is that when you're going to feel it?
Yeah, you do. The G-forces is tough to train for because it's so unique and so special. So even though I'm in decent shape, this kind of G-force, and especially around here, one of the fastest high-speed tracks in 35 degrees. I also choose the hottest day of the UK so far. So I've got the best of everything.
I think the big question everyone's got is how comfortable did you feel in the car? How comfortable did you feel driving at speed? And also your comfort level coming back into the team. How many of the guys are still there from when you were here last time?
Yeah, many of the old faces here, so that helps obviously to feel home and go to a place and people that you know. That's definitely a small benefit. Yeah, of course, I tried to take step by step today, get up to speed with the car, understand it. It is quite different to last year. Every car, it just takes time to inhale everything, understand it, know how you have to drive it and learn. But obviously there's more time to it tonight, and it's a process of learning. But yeah, all I can say is it's pretty quick around here nowadays.
And what are your initial impressions of the car? How pacey do you think it is? How much potential do you think there is? Obviously Lance P1 today.
Yeah, that's you see the huge potential, and the car is massively fast. I didn't exploit the soft tire that well. I think I have a bit more in the back, and I need to use that tire better. But that's what we're going to work on, obviously, through the night, and trying to get the best possible from this weekend.